Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk Joshi. This is the podcast we talk about everything from Miyu Watanabe, Laser Beam, and a lot of great tag team wrestling.
No.
See what I did there? I was kind of reaching, but that was all right. That was like a C
Yeah.
plus.
It
My name is
rhymes.
my name is Matt Turner, folks. I'm joined by the one and the only my really good friend, my tag team partner, one Andy Header. Andy Header, how are we doing on this rainy day we're having?
I'm doing good, even though I have a little bit, just a little tiny bit of a cold going on, but I'm powering through. I took my zinc pills, so I'm gonna burn right through it. I have positivity will burn through this little bit of a cold. Other than that, I'm doing pretty good as I'm waiting for my cat to just jump on me at any minute. Like as soon as we start podcast, my cat will be fine, be over there, and then he'll just boom, and he'll be like right on me. So that will happen in any second here.
If you're watching on YouTube, you see Andy Header, his head's ready to
Yeah.
turn. He's got his head
Yeah,
on
it's
a
like,
swivel.
oh, yeah.
Well, this might be the best episode for you to be somewhat. I mean, it's never a good time to be under the weather, but really kind of two quick shows that we're going to talk
Mm-hmm.
about, my friend. I know last week was one of our longer episodes. And as we're getting into these big shows from Sendai Girls, obviously Tokyo Joshi Pro, the Max Heart tournament will start this Saturday. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. So this one, again, folks, if you're reading the description box, we're going to be talking about the Tokyo Joshi Pro show from the 10th that had that number one contenders wild elimination
Mm-hmm.
match, as well as the Sendai Girls show from the next day, which had just a crazy, wild main event of Saya Iida and Chihiro Hashimoto.
Mm-hmm.
So and then so that's basically what we're going to be getting into this week. Now, Andy Header, before we get into some news, we're going to run through the Sendai Girls card coming up in 2 weeks. Before we get into that,
Ooh.
and our predictions. We're going to be going through our predictions and a review for the Tokyo Joshi Pro Max Heart Tournament number 6. Before we get into that, my friend, let's talk about some wrestling around the horn, mostly in Stardom and Marigold. Again, folks, as I'm sure you know and are aware, majority of the Stardom talk will be on the Stardom cast, which myself and
Mm-hmm.
Rob Goodwin have recorded and is in your feed. And the Marigold talk will obviously be on the Marigold standard as well. But I know a lot of our listeners, including me, I like to talk to Andy Header about two of the fantastic promotions going on right now in Stardom in Marigold. So, Andy Header, did you get the chance to watch anything from Stardom in Marigold this week? Which they were in Cork and Hall, my friend. Stardom did
Yes.
back-to-back dates in Cork and Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day was Marigold and Cork and Hall. And if you remember last week, we had a phenomenal TJPW show from Cork and Hall. So
Yeah.
Cork
What a
and Hall is
place.
like that's the venue to be. That's the venue to be. But did you get to watch any of these shows from Marigold and or Stardom?
So I did watch half of the first Stardom show and then all of the second Stardom show, but nothing of Marigold quite yet. Because once I heard Maki Ito was there, I was like, well, I have to watch this. So I watched obviously her tag match, which I was surprised that she didn't win. She took the loss actually to that, but hey, set up a feud. But yeah, a good show. Nothing groundbreaking, but I mean, I went to watch Maki Ito's debut, and she was over, not as comedy heavy as normal, but that's okay because it's Stardom and you got to wrestle a little bit more. So I'm okay with that totally. But hey, we know she's good because we watched that match when we reviewed her versus Miyu Yamashita from Texas, was it? I think that match that was really good. So you know she can wrestle. So I'm glad she's in Stardom. I'm kind of like curious to see where she fits and like will she join a faction or not or just be a freelancer. We will see. But it was a good show.
Yeah, the do you by chance get to
Oh,
see go
the
ahead,
main
sorry. Yes.
event. The main event. I totally forgot about the main event. The main event was awesome.
Now, which one? It was at the artist match,
No,
the tag
what was
title match.
it was no, what was that? What was the singles match from? Drawing a blank here.
Your Hazuki and Mace was the
Yeah, Hazuki
semi-main event.
Maysara. Yes,
Yes.
yes. That was. I think that was the main event. That match was awesome.
Yeah, they absolutely tore down the house. I mean, they both shows were really good. The main event of the first night was O2 Line versus BMI 2000. You didn't get a chance to watch that
No, I
yet.
didn't see that. No.
Phenomenal. In my opinion, and obviously I know you're a big Azumi fan. Who is it? My opinion, the best O2 Line match maybe ever.
Oh wow.
Really good. I think the best BMI 2000 match ever. The crowd was so hot for everybody, but especially Miyu Amasaki. Like in a match that you have former red belt champion Natsuko Tora, and the
Hmm.
match that you have one of the best wrestlers in the world today, Azumi, Miyu Amasaki, the place was absolutely ballistic for. So when you get a time, definitely, I rated it 4 3/4 stars. That's how much I
Wow.
liked it. Highest recommendation. Definitely go out of your way to see that match. So you did watch Suzuki versus May Sarah. Did you
Yes.
watch
Very.
Yes, that was the semi-main event. Did you watch the artist match afterwards?
I did not watch the artist match, but I did watch. I thought I watched the whole show, but I think I stopped after that. I did watch the handicapped E Nexus V versus Mavita Loca because Suzu was sick, so it was a handicap match. That was very good.
Yeah, and then Bozilla got injured, so it was just
Oh,
like, yeah,
that
she
sucks.
she did something to her knee. I don't know when it happened. I think that it was when her and Hanako were trading shoulder tackles because you can
Hmm.
see her limping on it, and then she finished the match. And then obviously you've seen the match. So then she gets basically low bridge and she goes over the top rope and hits the
Yeah.
floor. Why she has a bum knee? What
Oh.
an absolute beast Bozil
Hmm.
is. But definitely, Rob and I again, we just released as of this recording earlier today the Stardom cast, and I think me and Rob both had the same rankings for O2 Line versus BMI 2000. It was the same ranking of May Sarah versus Hazuki, and the same ranking for the Artists of Stardom Championship match, which was
Mm.
Konami. Obviously, the champions Konami, Arena, and
Yeah.
Fukin Death defending against Lady C, Hina, and Tomoka Inaba. It was really tough to like line them up, which was 1, 2, and 3. So like again, both
Wow.
great shows. But if you have, obviously, I know you've only seen the Mace and Hazuki match, which was great, Rob's
Hmm.
favorite match from those two shows. But if you or any of our listeners have not seen those shows, definitely take the time to see again, Goddess of Stardom Championship match with BMI 2000 versus O2 Line, May Sarah versus Hazuki, which obviously again you did see, and then an artist match with the God's Eye trio of Lady C, Hina, Tomoka Inaba versus the champions from Hate. Like just really, really
Mm.
great matches. But again, Andy Header, my man, you saw May Sarah versus Hazuki. Everybody thought it was great. But why don't you give us a little bit of a breakdown, like the certain parts in the match and all the other things that you kind of liked?
I'm trying to think. It does feel. It feels like it's so long ago, but I just remember the moves. Like I don't remember anything exactly because my memory is terrible. But
You don't have to
just
go through
what?
move their move,
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
the
yeah.
atmosphere and everything like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was really great. And like I thought Hazuki would maybe get the win here, and she didn't. But that's
No,
okay.
she did.
Oh, did she win
Yeah,
again?
she did. She hit two brain busters. Macier kicked out, and then she did Masawa's Emerald Frozen, which she's
Oh,
only
that's
done
right.
once
That's right.
before.
That's right. Yes, 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 yes. But it was really good. I thought the match was great. I thought the crowd was really into it. So it was just a really good match. I knew going in, I was like, this is probably gonna be a little bit good, and it was very good.
Yeah, they've had 3 matches in the last few years. Back Supreme Fight 2023 for the high speed championship went to a 15-minute time limit draw. Just about 2 months ago or so, maybe even so sooner than that, they had a match for the high speed championship, which Maysara won. And then Maysara had said, "Since I beat you, now I want a challenge for the CMLL Japan Championship." And this was basically, the Hazuki's like, yeah, sure. And then Hazuki gets her win back. But yeah, just a great match. I mean, we've been saying it for years. Like it's time to really push Hazuki. And
Hmm.
I think it's time for May Sarah to graduate from the high speed division, which obviously she's
Yeah.
not the
Hmm.
champion anymore. But I wouldn't be shocked if you see May Sarah make a big run in the 5-star Grand Prix this year. Maybe not win
Oh,
it,
that's a good
but
call.
maybe make like a playoff. And then I wouldn't be shocked if she challenges for the either the red or the white belt sometime this year. So great stuff. I mean, it's crazy that Stardom. I think they did like 1,300 on both shows. No Saya Kamatani.
Yeah.
So obviously Saya's a big star, but it's like there's so many other great wrestlers. Again, Azumi, Miyu Amasaki, Starlight Kid was here. Alex Windsor was there,
Yeah.
and they
That was
teased
cool to see her.
something they'd see something with her and Shuri. I know they just announced Shuri for the New Japan New Beginning show in New Jersey coming up next month. So I wouldn't be shocked if Alex Windsor versus Shuri is on that show. So again, we'll more on that to come. But two great shows. And then again, that was Sunday or that was Saturday, Sunday, and then I believe
Hmm.
it was either Monday or Tuesday. We had the Marigold show, which was a solid show, quick show, like only about 2 hours. The main event is absolutely must see. They literally put, in my opinion, the four best wrestlers in Marigold in a tag match. It was actually a tag match that was set up at First Dream in Oda Ward. Myself and Rob were there, and I remember when they set this up, I'm like, man, they're going into 2026 all guns blazing. So again, another match you should definitely take the time to watch is Mayu Utani teaming with Vittoria Zuki to take on Miko Ano and Utami Hayashishita. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
nice. I was gonna say,
yeah,
is Utami and Mayu in it?
yeah, in my
Nice.
opinion, the four best wrestlers right now in Marigold, and probably if you were
Hmm.
to ask me to list the top 10 or 12 Joshis in all of Joshi, I think the four of them would be there. Victoria
Hmm.
Zuki is my Marigold Wrestler of the Year.
Oh
She's
wow.
just absolutely fantastic. And obviously Miko Ano, she won the Dream Star. She beat Mayu to win the red belt. She's their current ace. And then Utami, she's pretty good in that Mayu. she might do okay for
It's
herself.
okay. Yeah. It's
She might do okay for
going
herself.
places.
Yeah, she's doing a okay. Andy Header, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a tease, my man, because I didn't tell you this. Now I'm gonna tell you this
Uh-oh.
on air because I want
Uh-oh.
your live reaction. Um, we are going to, in just a minute or two, we're going to be going through our Max Heart 6 predictions.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be going through our brackets. Obviously, I have my bracket. You have your bracket. And Tokyo Joshi Pod's own Andy Zyke sent me his final
Oh,
four
nice.
and his final. I was going to ask him to send me the whole bracket, but it might get confusing because of the buys. So he
Yeah.
just gave me his final four, his finals, and then his overall winner. But
Oh,
we'll get to
nice.
that in just a minute because earlier this morning, what we have here is we have announced is the, if I can get to it, is the card for the next Sendai Girls show. Now, Andy, have you seen the card announced for this next Sendai Girls show?
I don't think I did. No, I have not.
I'm just going to run through again 5 matches. I'm just going to run through them real quick. I believe this is set up for Friday the 23rd. So next week's episode may be just us reviewing the night one of the Max Heart tournament, and then maybe one or two like classic Joshi matches,
Hmm.
maybe some Aja Khan, maybe some Miami Toyota. I think I can
There
go
we
for
go.
some. So we'll figure that out. But obviously next week we will be reviewing night one of the Max Heart tournament. So Andy Header, this show coming up, Sendai Girls again. I believe it is the 23rd of January. So 2 weeks we will review it. It does look like that we will be having Senka will finally be challenging Yuna
Yeah.
for the junior championship. Then we do have Muka Takase versus Manami. That should be
Ooh.
all sorts of
Yeah, that
fun.
should be pretty good.
We have Zonaz teaming with Olympia to take on the team of, oh, by the way, we almost killed each other. Let's team up. Chihiro Hashimoto and Saya Iida.
Oh, nice.
How about that? And then the main event, the makeshift team of Mika Wada and Ryo Mizunami to take on Bob
There we
Moma
go.
Banana.
How about it?
So
Now, is that a
really,
title shot, I wonder?
I don't think it didn't say titles on there. So a lot of times they do like a lot of non-title matches. We've
Yeah.
seen it where Team 200 KG was constantly in the main event. Like, is that a title match? Is that a title match? But
Yeah, we wasn't sure.
they usually tell you beforehand. No, well, isn't Ryu or it was we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it here on the Sendai Girls show because
Hmm.
we did have the first challengers of Dash Sasako and Hiro Matsumoto. So I believe they're gonna be the V1 for Bob Moma Banana. So again, folks, that show will probably be on the Talk Joshi feed in about 2 weeks. Now, real
Hmm.
quick, before we get into our Max Heart predictions, which I'm so excited for, because this is really tough to predict. And again, we've been
Yeah.
watching Tokyo Joshi Pro pretty steadily the last 6 or 7 months. I've been going back into the archives, so getting myself more familiar. But I reached out to TJPW expert Andy Zyke, and even he's like, I'm so excited for this because it's really up in the air.
Hmm.
It's really up in the air. So just we're gonna hit the pause on that just a second, just to let everybody know we've kind of been teasing this. We've been putting some stuff out on social media. There's gonna be a lot more content on Talk Joshi. There's going to be myself and Andy Hatter probably in a week or two, and obviously partner. I'll get with you off air. We're going to be doing that magical Sugar Rabbit spotlight review.
Hmm.
We're going to be talking about like 4 or 5 matches. We're going to be going over their accolades, just kind of a spotlight on them. Also, probably on Monday because we're off work on Monday for Martin Luther King Day. I'm probably
Hmm.
going to be the homework is done for. I'm going to be doing a review of Miyu Watanabe's road back to the Princess of Princess Championship. I've watched all 4 of her matches from the Tokyo Princess Cup and that fantastic match she had with Mizuki,
Hmm.
excuse me, which we did review for Wrestle Princess 6 back in the summer. So that is going to be on your feed as well. There's going to be other things like watch alongs, which is going to be
Hmm.
audio only. There's going to be a lot more content on Talk Joshi. And again, if you have any suggestions, guys, just let us know. Let us know. And there's also going to be some Sendai Girls stuff. There's going to be some Tokyo Joshi Pro stuff. There's going to be some Marigold stuff that is going to pop up on the Patreon feed as well. We are on a record number of Patreon members. So I want to
That's
kind of
great.
do yes, I kind of want to do a few things outside of the Stardom bubble. You're still going to get your alternate commentaries, your 5-star Grand Prix reviews, or whatever wrestler you want. As always, we're open to suggestions. But there's going to be some Patreons. There's going to be some non-Stardom stuff on the Patreon, coming up in the next few months. So again, a lot of great stuff. We're just really expanding our
Hmm.
Joshi love here, Andy Head, and we're doing it, as I always say, in a positive and fun way, because that's what life is all about, my friend. Having
Hmm.
a good time, having a good time. Speaking of having a good time, Andy Header, let's get into these brackets. So the Max Heart 6 tournament, which, and he's like, did tell me, now it's not officially announced, but usually the winner of the Max Heart tournament does go to Grand Princess to challenge for the Princess of Princess Tag Team Championships back in
Okay.
2024. Back in 2024, Daisy Monkey won, and they did win the tag team champions at Grand Princess. And then last year it was Shoko Nakajima and Hyper Misao that did win the tournament and then did win the tag team championship. So again, that's probably what's going to happen here. And I'm glad he told me that, because I did use that into my thinking, because we mentioned this last week. I'm going to mention again, more than likely this show, Grand Princess 26, is going to be the highest drawing
Yeah.
Tokyo Joshi Pro show of all time. One, of all the buzz going on with the company. Two, they're coming off a sold out Cork and Hall show. Three, Miyu Watanabe is absolute Joshi that everybody is talking about. She's not in Marigold. She's not Mayu. She's not in Stardom. She's not Starlight Kid or Saya Kamatani. But Miyu has a lot of buzz on her
Hmm.
coming off all these great matches, especially that great match at Cork and Hall back on the 4th of January. Throw in the fact that Sarie's going to be there. Obviously, Aja Kong's going to be there. Oh, by the way, Takeshita, who was in the
Yeah.
semi-main event of the Tokyo Dome show in front of 51,000 people, he's going to be there teaming with his wife in
Hmm.
one Yuka Sakazaki. So I think you throw all those in, this is going to be, I wouldn't be shocked if this does well over 3,000 tickets
Yeah.
in Sumo Hall. So I took that in consideration, because I was like, you need a major team to win this tournament if they're going to challenge for the tag team championships. Now we know, Andy Hedda, that when we're watching these big Tokyo Joshi Pro shows, the tag team title match is usually the semi-main event. So that's going to be the lead-in into your big championship match, which we now know, spoilers, and we're going to get into it, is Miyu Watanabe defending against Yuki Arai. So
Hmm.
with that being said, Andy Hedder, boy, I really dragged this out long enough. Let's get into the brackets, my friend. Now, I will say this. So if you do look, we do have 4 teams getting buys.
Yes.
We do have Daisy Monkey getting a buy. We do have Prism. Is it Prism Glare or Prism Greed?
Prison Greed, isn't it?
Prison
Yes.
Greed of Yuki Aino, and also known as Strawberry Tam, and Haru. They're getting a buy. And then if you look on the right side of the bracket, we do have a Daydream. Mi Watanabe and Rika Tatsumi, they're getting a buy. And then the tag team champions of Uber Eats of Wanaka Yohara Forever and Yuki Kamafuki, they're getting a buy. My guess, and I don't know if there's an official reason why these teams are getting a buy. I'm just
Yeah,
throwing
I
this
don't
out there,
know.
Andy Header. I'm going to lobby this at you, and you can lobby it back. Daisy Monkeys getting a buy because they won the tournament in 2024, which is kind of the reason I'm going. But Choco and Hyper won it last year, and they're not getting anywho. So I'm saying
Yeah.
Daisy Monkeys getting a buy because they won the tournament 2 years ago. Yuki Aino and Haro, they're getting a buy because they just challenged for the belts, which is weird because they lost. But we're like, hey, we'll
Yeah.
throw you a bone. I completely understand why Uber Eats are getting a buy. They're the tag champs.
Yeah, they should.
Um,
They should probably should.
and then Miyu Watanabe and Rika, which I think they won the tournament in 2022 or 2023. Because I
Mm.
think at Grand Princess 2022, and we're going to review it. They did challenge the Magical Sugar Rabbits for the.
Ooh.
It's actually the first match on my notes that I did. I saw it
Really?
maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was phenomenal. The entrances alone, just wait till you see the entrances. You're like, oh, I'm in. So, anywho, without further ado, Andy, so those are the 4 teams that are getting buys. Again, folks, if you know why they're getting buys, please let us know. I
I
did some
I figured it was the
research.
stars. I'm like, well, Miu's the champ, so she should get by, and Obri's are champ, so they should get by. And I'm like, Yuki Aino and Haru, they're kind of pushing them, so maybe that's why they're getting a buy. That's kind of, and then Daisy Monkey, maybe it's because they're real good. I don't know. But like you said, you got Shoko and Hyper, Kirako Kume, who aren't getting a buy, so I don't know.
Anyhow, we're going to start with the hardest part of the bracket. So again, if you're looking on the graphic
Hmm.
that was put up over on the Tokyo Joshi pod feed, and it is on our new web, by the way, our new website, worldofjoshi.com.
Hmm.
Give that a look. I know a lot of our longtime listeners of the Stardom Cast. We had the Stardom Cast website. It was just Stardom. Then we sprinkled some Marigold. We're doing everything Joshi. It is the world of Joshi. So there's going to be a lot of Tokyo Joshi Pro news. So that is up there as well. So again, take a look at this bracket on the left-hand side. So obviously, Daisy Monkey will await the winners. And again, this
Yes.
tournament does start this Saturday, which I believe is actually Friday night for us. I think it's 9 or 9:30.
It's usually Friday nights at 9 p.m., which is awesome. So you can watch the show and go to bed still at a reasonable hour. The last show was a little bit longer, so that was over like 12:30 after midnight. But like if it's only 2 hours, it's over by like 11. So ain't bad.
Indie Header, the other day I was coming home from work and I stopped and I got a bottle of sake. So I am
Ooh,
all
there you go.
maybe I'll have some sake
Nice.
while I'm watching this. All right, my friend. So this is, I mean, right off the bat, this is the hardest match to predict. So you do have Shoko Nakajima and Hyper Misao taking on Kaya Toribami and Miyu Yamashita. Indie Header, who wins this match and then goes to the 25th to take on Daisy Monkey, other than the
This
fans?
Yeah, this is might be the toughest one to pick besides like one other one. I was like, geez, it got me one side and then Shoko and Hyper on the other. But I'm leaning a little bit towards Shoko and Hyper because they are an established tag team more so than Miyu and Kaya. So I'm gonna go with Kiraki Kume, Shoko Nakajima, and Hyper Misao going forward to wrestle Daisy Monkey.
Andy Header, yeah, that was a great pick. I understand your reason why. I just think Miyu and Kaya Toribami is somebody that has a lot of steam on them,
Hmm.
and I basically flipped a coin. And so I am
There you
thinking
go.
I do have the one thing I don't want is a tie. I don't know if they do draws in this because I wouldn't want to see
Yeah, I
Daisy
hope not.
Monkey get two buys. I don't want to see, but I'm going to go with Miyu and Kaya Toribami to get the win to wrestle Daisy Monkey on the 25th. Andy Header, we're going to stay on the same side of the bracket as we do know that we have Prism Greed. They're getting the bye. They will be taking on the winners of Kiera Summer and Chicken Nanas. They are taking on the team of Mizuki and Uda Takami. I will
Hmm.
tell you right now, I will go first this time. I believe the former champion and Mizuki and Uda, who is 1/4 of the Up Girls. I think they're going to pick up the win here, and I'm pretty confident on that pick.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Nothing against Kira Summer or Chicken and Nase, but Mizuki and Uda, I put them forward just because Mizuki's on the team. So yeah, Mizuki and Uda moving forward here.
Andy Header, we're gonna go to the top right part of the bracket. We do have the champ Miyu Watanabe and Rika Tatsumi, Daydream. They're getting a bye. They're gonna wait the winners of let's see, it is Palm Paler, who
Yep.
I believe was in the finals last year.
Oh
I
wow.
believe they made the finals last, and that's a match I have to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe I know Hyper and Shoko won the tournament last year. Folks, you mentioned there's gonna be more content on Talk Joshi. Maybe I'll go through their entire run of the Max Heart tournament
Yeah.
last year. That'll be a fun one to do. But they are taking on the team of Ren Kanatsu and Riku. Again, this is another one easy for me to predict, Andy Header. I'm going to say Palm Paler gets the win here, setting up Palm Paler versus Daydream on the 25th.
I'm with you here. That's exactly how I have it going too.
So okay, so we have Palm Paler versus Daydream, and then the bottom part of the bracket, the tag champs overeats. They'll be waiting the winners of this is a tough one to predict, and one of the
Hmm.
matches I'm looking forward to the most coming up this Friday night for us on the East Coast, as we have the Bumping Gritters team of Himiwari and the new look Shino Suzuki
Hmm.
to take on the team of the number one contender Yuki Arai and Mifu Ashida, who is one of the most improved wrestlers in all of Joshi the last quarter of last year. Andy Head, I'm going to volley to you. Who do you have winning this one?
So this one was a little bit tough, but I think it's gonna go this way. It seems that they got a little steam behind Mifu Ishida and Yuki Arai because Yuki's getting the title shot. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them move forward, and I kind of want them to have a creative team name too. I mean, like you said with Mifu, she's really showing her charisma. She's really showing she's getting better. So I think they are going to advance at least one step in this tournament.
Yeah, I think Yuki Rai needs a big win here on one of the night one of one of their big tournaments. So more than likely I'll be. I don't think I have anything going on Friday. I'll probably be watching this one live. Wouldn't be shocked if we do see Himawari and Shino pick up the win. But yeah, Yuki just won that fun. And again, we're gonna review it here in just a
Mhm.
few moments time here, folks. She did win that absolutely insane a 6-way elimination match. The last thing you want to do is then eating an L on the way to the main event of what could be the biggest show in company history. Andy Header, we're going to go to the semifinals. Now you have Shoko and Hyper Misao taking on Daisy Monkey. Who do you have going through to the semifinals?
Much as I like Shoko and my girl Shoko and Hyper Misao, I think Daisy Monkey is going to win this one and go on to the semifinals.
Andy Header, I agree with you. I obviously have Miyu and Kaya Toribami. However, I am going with Daisy Monkey as well. So me and you both have Daisy Monkey going to the semifinals. And then I believe we had this one as well as we had Prison Greed taking on the team of Uda and Mizuki. Who do you have winning that one, my friend?
I have Yuki Aino and Haru Kazushiro moving on. So,
Oh,
Prison-
I have the other way. I went
really?
with
Wow.
yeah, and this is a tough one for me to predict as well. But I just think put a little more steam behind Mizuki, and I think I would just want to see Mizuki tear it up there with Suzumi and Arisa Endo. Maybe I was a little
Mm,
selfish on that one, but
that's all right. I mean, who doesn't?
at the same time, Haru, who I didn't know this until I went back and watched the match, and Mr. Haku, who said that Haru's still in school. So 17,
Yeah.
18 years old, which is crazy because she was really good in
Hmm.
that tag match, and she works great with Yuki Aino. So that is the semifinal that I have and the semifinal that you have. Let's go back to the right part of the bracket. This is going to be great no matter which way you slice it. Daydream, Miyu Watanabe, and Rika Tatsumi taking on Palm Paler.
Hmm.
Andy Header, I have Palm Paler picking up the win here. I just don't think they're gonna tease Miyu going all the way to the finals, knowing that she probably can't participate in
Oh,
the championship
good
match.
reasoning. Good reasoning.
So maybe have get her team eliminated early. I wouldn't be shocked though if Daydream maybe makes it to the semifinals. But I'm going with Palm Paler to pick up the win here to go to the semifinals. Let's say you, good sir.
I have it the other way around. I have Daydream moving on going forward. I think Miyu and Rika will move on at least one more time.
Andy Header, this bottom right of the bracket, the tag champs, Ober Eats. They're going to be taking on, again, me and you both have Yuki Arai and Mifu Ishida picking up the win there. So Ober Eats versus Yuki and Mifu. Who do you have winning going to the semifinals?
I got the tag champs moving forward.
I am in
Over Eats.
agreement with you. So I have we have two of the four teams going to the semifinals. Now let me go to my phone, good sir. Andy's like, here's who he have. His final four
Mm,
is Miyu Yamashita and Kaya
wow.
Toribami. Yes, he has Prism Greed, Palm Paler, and Ober Eats. So then he will have Prism Greed. So it's Prism Greed. Not I was going back and forth. It is Greed. So
That's
his
great. Like
final
I like look Orange Lantern. What's his name? Can't think of his name now.
LaFreeze,
Fluffies. Yeah.
LaFreeze, yes, yes, or Creed Greed, from
Oh
either
yeah.
the band or Apollo Creed.
Right.
Anyway, so it looks like on the left side of the bracket, will have Miyu Yamashita and Kai Toribami taking on Prism Greed, and on the right hand of the bracket, he has Palm Paler taking on Ober Eats, which is what I
Mm.
have on the right side of the bracket. So Andy Header, I have my semifinals: Daisy Monkey taking on Mizuki and Uda Takami. I do have Daisy Monkey picking up the win, going to the finals. Now, Andy Header, I believe you had Daisy Monkey versus Prism Greed, or you had Daisy Monkey versus Prism Greed, correct?
Yes, yes, I did. And
Okay, and who? Go
I
ahead, sir.
think I'm calling a crazy one here. I think Prism Greed is going to move on and beat Daisy Monkey. So Biyuki Aino and Haro Kazushiro in the finals.
So you have Prism Greed in the
Hmm.
finals, and I have Daisy Monkey, where Andy Zyke has Miyu Yamashita and Kaya Toribami
Wow. So we're all
making it to
different.
the finals. Yes, yes. Andy Header, I do have for my semifinals on the right hand of the bracket. Both myself and Andy Zyke have Palm Paler versus Ober Eats, and both myself and Andy Zyke have Palm Paler getting the
Wow.
win over Ober Eats, setting up for his final, Miyu Yamashita and Kaya Toribami versus Palm Paler, and my final being Daisy Monkey versus Palm Paler. Let's say you, buddy, who is taking on Prism Greed in the Andy Header bracket?
In wrestling, the tag team is always better than the singles wrestler. So even though she's the singles champion, we got the tag team champions here. So Overeats is moving on to the finals. So my finals is Prism Greed versus Overeats.
Andy Header, you still got the ball. Who's your overall winner? Or is the tag champs going to walk out of this as this, or is there going to be Prism Greed taking it, setting up a possible rematch? Well, this would be two rematches then. You have
Yeah, yeah, it
three.
would be. But this
You
is
have
not for the belts. Yeah.
you would have three rematches because we did have this match back in Cork and Hall. So you're literally doing a three-match series if that's the way you spin it. Is
Mhm.
that what you're going with, Andy Header?
That's what I'm going with. I'm gonna have Yuki Aino, Haru Kazushiro, Prism Greed wins this whole thing and goes on to challenge for the tag belts and then wins the tag belts. So that's my double prediction there. So yeah, I have Prism Greed win this whole thing.
Well, I mean, they were crazy over in Cork and Hall,
Hmm.
so that would make a lot of sense. And it's just we do know Joshi likes that automatic return match. We've seen Marigold do it. We've seen Stardom do it so many times with Saya and Tam. So if you were to do 3 matches within 3 months' time in the tag division, it really gives a good spark for the tag division. So I like that.
Hmm.
I like your booking. I don't think a lot of people see it coming. However, it does make sense. Andy Header, I have Daisy Monkey getting the win over Palm Paler, winning
Mm.
the tag tournament, just because I think Daisy Monkey are, as far as the tag team, they're the biggest tag team stars in this
Yeah.
tournament. And again, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, this is probably going to be the biggest show in company history. And also, what this does do is Palm Paler, even though they didn't win the tournament, they did knock out the tag champs, so they would have lay claim
For the
to a
tag
tag
champ.
team
Yeah.
title shot. I think I would have Daisy Monkey pick up the win over Eats. I can see it going either way, and then have Palm Paler then maybe take the tag belts. But I just think depending on what you're doing with Daisy Monkey, they need to be in proper matches for this big show. And not unless again they're doing maybe they're not unless they do Sari versus Suzumi and then a rematch with Mirai versus Arisa
Nintendo.
Endo for the
Yeah.
International Princess Championship. So regardless. So Andy Header, you have Prism Greed taking the whole thing.
Hmm.
I have Daisy Monkey winning the whole thing. Where Andy Zyke has Miyu Yamashita and Kaya Toribami
Wow.
winning
Maybe.
the whole thing. Winning the whole thing. So interesting things.
Yeah. We
It
all went a
is
little bit different.
wide
We'll see
open.
who's. Yeah. We could all be wrong.
But that left hand of the bracket, that's the hardest, and it's
Yeah.
got
It
three of the
is.
best teams in there. Miyu, Kaya Toribami, who Kaya's been phenomenal. Obviously, Miyu's been their ace literally since day one.
Hmm.
Daisy Monkey, they have the bye, and then obviously Shoko and Hyper Masao, who have won this tournament before and had a pretty good run. They just lost the belts back at Wrestle Princess too over Eats. So
Yeah.
really interesting things. Andy Header. Speaking of Tokyo Joshi Pro, let's rock and roll. Let's get into this review, good sir. Tokyo Joshi Pro New Year's Party in Shinjuku FACE, a great venue to watch professional wrestling. We
Hmm.
start this show with a singles match as the new rookie of, I hope I'm saying this right, and obviously if I'm wrong, brother, please correct me. The rookie of Shino Kagami taking on Haru Kazushino. Did I get that
Uh,
last name right?
Shion Kanzaki. I believe it's Kanzaki. I believe
Oh,
so. Yeah.
we'll eventually get it. So she
Yeah, sorry. If we're wrong, I'm gonna look it up here. I got my work phone on the side, so I'll look it up. I believe that's the Shion Kanzaki. But we'll make
really
sure.
solid, a really solid outing. That Haru picking up the win with the go-go plata. Again, I thought she on here with only her second match. I thought she was terrific. And the fact that Haru, 18-year-old, had to
Yeah.
lead the match, very much like you've been seeing Rena do in Stardom, Rena and Hina doing in Stardom. I thought it was really good. Crowd was really into it. Good way to start the show. I had this at 3.25 stars.
Yeah, I agree with you. This was a really good for an opening match, and Shion is looking really good for being her second match. I guess you could maybe count the horse race, even though she wasn't. She was in that, but she wasn't in that. But I guess that was a horse race and not a
It's a
match.
match.
So
I know.
yeah,
The bell
cool.
rang. The bell
Yeah,
rang.
yeah, and she was in it. And she got a couple moves there. But yeah, it is Shion Kanzaki, so that it is Kanzaki for her last name. Did a good opening match. Haru was trying to work in the armbar. Haru gets the arm breaker, and then there's the arm submission. I don't know what it was. Kind of like what's the MMA one where you're choking them out where you put your leg on their right below
Oh,
the
the
chin, you
go
pull
go the
down.
go plata. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of was like that, but more an arm-based submission, and that's how she won here. So Haru beats Shiro in a nice opening match. I gave it 3 stars even, but yeah, very nice match.
Really good stuff. And he had her three-way dance, which are always difficult to do, especially when you have three distinctive styles of Kaya
Yeah.
Toribami taking on Riku, taking on Chika Nanase. This was solid. It was fun. It definitely got over with the crowd. It's
Hmm.
not like those three ways that you see in Stardom where it's like blinking, you'll miss it.
Yeah.
You had your comedy. Obviously, Riku did her real fun stuff. But as Riku getting a win with a straight jacket backslide, which I don't think I've
Yeah.
really seen that much before. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I was entertained. The crowd was into it. 3.25 stars with Riku taking up the win over Chika Nanase.
Yep, I'm right with you. 3.25 stars. I like the beginning. Raku calls for the test of strength, and they do a lot of creative three-way spots here. They do the three-way wrist lock, and then go for the both of the top wrist lock, and they do the bridge and stuff. And then of course, Raku goes to sleep, and they do a nice running spot, like where they're doing the whole running slot over sleeping Raku, and then she finally gets up, and then that's the end of that. So that was a nice. It was almost like a Rings of Saturn submission that Kaya put on Chica. That was really cool, and then the double backslide by Raku I'm like, a double backslide. It's the first time I've ever seen a double backslide. And then finally, I wrote down backslide flip over because I didn't know what it was called. But yeah, Raku gets the backslide at the end. Tachika, 1, 2, 3. A very good second opening match, or second match.
And here we get a six-person tag action. And I do like how you do have the one team that is in the tournament is in this match, and they highlight them in this. So you do have bumping graders of Himawari and Shino Suzuki. I wouldn't be shocked if they win the whole tournament. Now that I'm talking
Yeah.
myself out of things, teaming with to take on the team of Hyper Masao, Kiera Summer, and Mahiro Kiru. Obviously, with Mahiro in this match and Hyper in this match, the comedy stuff was really turned up. You still had some great wrestling. I'm a big fan of Kiera Summer. I really hope that they give her something to sink her teeth into in 2026 because I
Hmm.
think she could be utilized really, really well. To me, though, this was ultimately just making, with the exception of the comedy, which was great and it wasn't overly done, this was all about making Himawari and Shino look really good going into the Max Hard tournament, where Himawari pinning Kiera Summer with her version of the jackhammer, 3.25 stars for me.
Yep, I thought this match was really good. I actually gave it 3.5 stars. The comedy in the beginning was good when Hyper sprays Mahiro with a cold spray and Kira rolls her up. So it's like, what are we doing right off the bat? And then everyone's trying to pin poor Mahiro and they all beat her up. And then she finally reverses and takes over. So that was a cool opening spot here. At the end, there was a double neck breaker by bumping gritters on Hyper style. That looked really good. And then there was hair whips, natural selection of Kira by Himawari. And then finally that. Uh, you called it
It's almost
the
like a
gold.
jackhammer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
jackhammer, but it was weird because she went like I always call like a headlock suplex because she didn't like put the arm over the head like a normal suplex. She kind of picked up like a headlock position, almost like a front sleeper. So that was
almost like almost like a half couch suplex that like Akira
yeah,
Kurigami does or Shuri does. Yeah.
yeah. It
Yeah.
was a little unique there, but that's what Himawari hit on Kira 1, 2, 3, and they win here. So they've got a very nice third match too. The show's just ramping up as we go along, and this was a very fast show. Like you could watch it in no time. Like, wow, it's done already.
Anyhow, let's put our brains together for a few seconds here. Let's call that the hair whip suplex, maybe.
There we go, the hair whip suplex. She should take her hair, whip it around her head, and then suplex her. There we go. Himawari, you can have that one for free.
Then when she pins her, it's almost like having leverage, like a straitjacket, because
Yeah,
hair is around the shoulders and it's more difficult to kick
yeah.
out. Oh, come on, folks. Like we're
There
coming
we
up with
go.
psychology. We not only do merchandising on this show, folks. We come up with fancy names and actual psychology for covers.
Yeah.
Love myself a good cover. Andy Header, we go into match number 4. As again, to me, this felt like a little bit of a preview tag, as we do have Suzumi and Arisa Endo, Daisy Monkey, teaming with Renkanatsu and Uda Takami to take on the team of the tag team champions of
Hmm.
Wanaka Yohara, Yuki Kamafuki, Ober Eats, and the number one contender for the International Princess Champion, Toga and Mifu Ashida. This was great. Everybody got their licks in, especially the teams. Like as this match is breaking down, they did a good job making Toga look really good. Again, she's wrestling Mirai on that final night of the Max Hard
Hmm.
tournament on Valentine's Day, by the way, folks. So again, and it's in Cork and Hall. It's a big match for her. They set the match up in Cork and Hall. Makes sense. Booking, folks. It's you can keep it simple.
Hmm.
To me, at the heart. And I kind of when this match was announced, I was like, are they going to kind of just plant the seeds for some teasing of Uber Eats versus Daisy Monkey? Again, another
Hmm.
reason why I picked Daisy Monkey to win the tournament. We had some great teamwork between these two teams, which makes me think we were going to get it in a big setting, or maybe I'm just hoping. This is really, really great stuff here, where it was Toga getting the win or forcing Ren to tap out via the face lock, almost like a version of Torashi Kawada's face lock. I liked how Toga got the win here because she's the one that needs the most steam
Hmm.
going into that international princess match with Mirai. Again, coming up on the 14th of February in Cork and Hall. Really great stuff. But again, for me, this was just about the spotlight of the tag teams of your champions of Uber Eats and Daisy Monkey. 3.5 stars for me.
Yeah, I like this one just a little bit more. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. I thought it was really cool. I liked at the beginning where I'll just play Team Arisu all go for roll-ups after the handshake, and they all drop kick him quarter. So that was a really nice spot. And the part where Mifu cheers and beats on Uda, and then she does her split leg moons or split leg drop. That's really nice. I like that spot. I like the double down where Arisa gets the release Northern Lights, and then Yuki comes in and hits the Rough Rider. That was a cool double down. And then finally the fall away slam, and then the submission hold by Toga to Ren, and Ren taps out because she does. You're right. She does need a big win going in to make it believable that she can beat Mariah for the international princess title. But she probably not gonna. But will be a very good match.
Yeah, I really like this one. This was good. And now, Andy Header, we get to our semi-main event. The all-power team of me, Watanabe,
Yeah.
and J-Rod to take on Ryo Mizunami and Yuki Aino. Fun fact, Ryo Mizunami and Yuki Aino are former tag team champions. They
Mm,
actually defended those belts at Grand Princess 24, which we may have to do a rewind review of that show because it was a really good show. They defended those belts against Daisy Monkey after Daisy
mm.
Monkey won the 2024 Max Hard
There
Tournament.
we
So,
go.
really good seeing Ryo Mizunami and Yuki Aino back in the ring together again. Just a little forewarning when Rio does come out, you might have to mute her music because there's a lot of dirty words.
Yeah.
um,
It's a house party. It's a
it's a
house party.
house party.
Yeah.
It's a fun house party. It's a fun house
It means
party.
funky, like like funky music. That's what they're saying.
When Beetlejuice says we gotta need a Beetlejuice reference every episode. Beetlejuice says you want to party, party, and Rio Mizunami, she wants to party.
Hmm.
Andy Header, she wants to party. This was a great match, a lot of hard hitting stuff. Yuki Aino had that great match with Miyu Watanabe. I believe it was All Rise for the Princess of Princess Championship. Or Evasion Attack. I think it was Evasion Attack that are for the Prince of Princess Championship just a few months ago. Yuki and Miyu work really well together, as does Rio and Miyu. J Rod's such an underrated wrestler. She is so great. Her stuff with Rio was terrific. Like just the forearms, the hard hitting. Like
Hmm.
obviously J Rod is the biggest badass in this match, which is saying something because we have a lot of power hitters in this. But Rio really takes it to J Rod. Some really great stuff between the two. And as this is building, I kind of feel the old TLD coming on. And I think that really needed to be the perfect finish. This was great. It was a great spotlight for everybody. Miyu plays a lot of the hits, but she does a really good job of letting J Rod get her licks in because
Hmm.
everybody sees Miyu's on every single show. She's the champion, she's the ace of this company. She does a great job making sure J Rod looks really good in this match. Not that she needs any help because J Rod's fantastic. I love the team of Rio and Yuki Aino. Again, probably in the archives, we'll go back and watch some of their tag team championship matches because they're great here. I'm just going to show you how great of a wrestler Yuki Aino is because she's great with a lot of different wrestlers
Hmm.
in tag team. Again, Prism Greed, you're picked to win the whole thing.
Yep.
This was great. This is a great appetizer for that main event. 4 stars for me. This was right up my alley. Hard hitting professional wrestling at its absolute best.
Yeah, I thought this match was really, really good. First thing we gotta say, short hair Yuki. So she's not a strawberry Tam, but then I was thinking, remember when Tam cut her hair kind of short, and then she had some maybe extensions for a final match. But anyway, she's still strawberry Tam to me. But I like right in the beginning it's Miyu and Yuki, and they're doing the straight thing. They keep going for shoulder tackles. Nobody goes down. Then finally Rio and J Rod come in, test the strength. So why not? So establish that the two powerhouses here. J Rod hit the snake eyes, the Yuki Aino. There was a nice part where a Venus DDT to J Rod for a double down. There was a part where it was an STO and a leg drop near fall by Rio on Miyu, and then an Anaconda like submission, Anaconda Vice. I was like, huh, a little watching her CM Punk tapes there by Rio. Um, Mio came in back with a stinger splash and then a big body slam. That was a cool spot here as they go down. There was a double spear by J Rod and Rio. So at the same time, that was pretty cool. But they both hit the spear at the same time. Big boot clothesline, double shoulder tackle, which was really nice. And then Miyu and Yuki get the shoulder tackles, and there's the Venus DDT by Yuki to Miyu for the near fall. Then Yuki looks like she's gonna go maybe for the pedigree, who knows? Maybe for a Tiger Driver, and the time of it expires. Yeah, this match was really, really good. Give it 4.25 stars.
The old TLD. Andy, are you
Hmm.
hearing? There's a beep coming through on mine. Can you hear a beep in your headset?
No.
That means it's not coming through. For some reason,
Uh,
I closed out my Discord server and it
yeah.
keeps beeping. So if it's not coming through on your end, then it won't pick up on the
No,
recording.
I can't hear it. I was like, wait, is it beeping in my house? But no, I
No,
can't hear
no,
it.
that's what it is because it's coming up on my phone too. But
Oh, okay.
lot of Joshi talking to start. The Stardom Cast Discord is always rocking and rolling. They do great stuff helping each other out because that's what it's all about.
I
That's
have
what
to join that. I download Discord. I have not joined it yet.
I will send you the information for it because there's a lot of like if there's like tough to find matches that aren't on Stardom World from
Hmm.
like before 2018, they hook you up. They hook you
Oh,
up.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. And if there's any like random like an Actress Girls or Ice Ribbon match or something that you need to see or a show coming up, they will, they're great. The Discord is terrific.
Mhm.
So remind me that when we get done recording,
Okay.
I'll shoot you over the information. Andy Header, main event. This is what it's all about.
Mhm.
Number one contenders for the Princess of Princess Championship for Grand Princess 26. We have Mizuki taking on Max the Impaler, taking on Shoko Nakajima, taking on Yuki Arai, taking on Miyu Yamashita, taking on Rika Tatsumi. This is pinfall or submission only, and I like elimination style. I mean, you grew up in the ECW era. Anytime they did a three-way or a four-way, it was elimination
Elimination.
style. I understand the one fall wins it all, but at the same time, I like the elimination style. So it just really added to this match. Andy Header, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each fall. Then, if you want to break down each fall.
Okay.
So the fall number one is Shoko Nakajima pinning Max the Impaler via the top rope senton. But that really only tells half the story because Miyu Yamashita had to hit a skull kick onto Max while she was on the top rope. And then Shoko hits a Hurricanrana. Yuki Arai hits the finally. And then Shoko hits the top rope senton. So it took like three finishers from three
Yeah.
main eventers to put away Max the Impaler, which I really enjoyed because the first few minutes of this match was her just dominating the other five Joshis.
Yeah.
I thought this was a really fun way. And again, the crowd was all into this. But Shoko putting away Max the Impaler for fall number one.
Yeah, it was a way to get rid of Max, but still keeping Max looking strong here, with taking all the different finishers. Like Max was just kicking ass in the beginning, just like unstoppable. So it made sense from the story of Pamport, and then Shoko gets the first elimination here.
Now she gets the first elimination. She gets the second elimination
Yep.
by pinning the last champion, Mizuki, with a countering a roll up with a jackknife pinfall. Shoko picking up 2 wins in a row, eliminating Mizuki. I was a little shocked at that Mizuki might have been in there a little bit longer, but at the same time, eventually you got to eliminate somebody here. So Shoko getting 2 eliminations, Mizuki being eliminated by Shoko Nakajima.
Yeah, right before it too, there was a really nice running hip tap off the apron by Rika to Yuki on the outside. I was like, "Ooh, that looked a little brutal there." And then there was the stack up double stomp that Yuki hit. Oh wait, to Yuki and Rika by Mizuki. She hit that, and then when she puts both the corner and does the double stomp, that was really nice. And then there was the hip attack by Rika to Mizuki, and then Shoko floats over. 1, 2, 3. Mizuki eliminated. Yeah, it was a little surprising seeing Mizuki out here. So now Shoko has 2 eliminations. Can she get the third? No.
She does not. She's involved in the third elimination. However, she's the one looking at the lights at is Rika Tatsumi, who was so great in this match,
Hmm.
hitting a twist of fate, putting away Shoko Nakajima for the 3 count. Obviously, in hitter, I know you are a massive fan of Shoko Nakajima. There's 6 main eventers in this match. Only one person had two
Yeah, only one
pinfalls.
can win.
So they only had one person at two pinfalls. That was Shoko Nakajima. So if you're grading this on points, Shoko wins, right? So that's
Yeah,
the way.
she
So
pinned two people. You know, the winner only pinned one person. Yeah, I was
yeah,
keeping track of that. That's what's going on.
I did like
Yeah.
that. I did like how they gave somebody 2 pinfalls in this, but Shoko getting the win, or excuse me, Arika pinning Shoko Nakajima with the twist of fate. That is definitely a singles match I would like to see because that
Hmm.
closing sequence with the two of them was really, really good. If anybody knows if they've had a big singles match in the past, please let us know because that's a
Yeah.
match that I know we definitely need to watch. But Indiana, what did you think about everything leading up to this pinfall?
I liked it. I'm really starting to like Rika. I like that she's the White Dragon and she does the White Dragon Sleeper. I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. So she had the White Dragon Sleeper and she had the Twist of Fate Final Cut, whatever you call it, which you hold it and she switched around, hit it. It was quick and I was like, Shoko was eliminated, but I was okay because she had two pinfalls.
Rika Tatsumi also has a really great theme song where, like, as a
Yep.
picture, people sing her theme in. So my wife really got into the Japanese Joshi theme. She liked the Rikas.
Really?
She loves Cerise, like massive
Okay.
fan, and loves Miko Ano. So when
Oh,
she was telling me this, I'm like, "You will love Miyu Watanabes," and she's just like,
yeah.
so Miyu
Really?
came out and she's like, "No, I like Miyu's theme. 3, 2, 1, go!"
Yeah.
Yeah. Andy Header, we get our next elimination. Again, Rika Tatsumi, great sequence here with Shoko. Great sequence with Miyu Yamashita. I know these two have wrestled each other quite a bit in the past. And Miyu Yamashita putting away one Rika with the running knee, which she calls Crush Rabbit Heat.
Mm.
Just what a great name. Yeah, what a great name. And I mean, me just with that running knee absolutely obliterates Rika. I'm gonna gotta go back and watch some of their matches. I believe they did have a match for when Miyu Yamashita was Princess of Princess Championship. Again, more on that later. By later, I mean in a later episode. But again, two great sequences with Rika in this match. They made her look really strong, only for Miyu to just absolutely obliterate her with it. I'm going to say it again. Crush rabbit heat. Somebody needs to make a shirt of a rabbit,
Crush
like
Rabbit
I'm
Heat.
on
Yeah.
fire, like a Heat Man and Mega Man 2. And it's just like, yeah, but
Yeah.
we're running with the knee, but Miyu Yamashida's like kick pads or something. Really, really great fall sequence between these two.
Yeah, and then right before it, Rika hit the running hip attack on Yuki for a close near fall. So they were building her up before she gets eliminated here. And I wrote down V trigger. Oh yeah, Miyu hit the John Cena, the AA, the FU, whatever you want to call it, off the second rope first, and then hit the what was it called? The burning.
Oh,
What's her?
her knee,
Yeah, the knee.
crush rabbit
Crush.
heat.
Crush Rabbit Heat. Yeah. So they should make a shirt where it's like Mew as a rabbit on fire, kind of like the Pokemon Cinderace, which is a fire rabbit. So there we go, just hitting that knee. But yeah, I like this elimination here because it was building up Rika, and all of a sudden Mew got her, and I was like, oh, okay, she's eliminated, and then Mew gets a win.
Then we get to the final fall with Yuki Arai taking on Miyu Yamashita. Now, it was a show that was, I think it was the last show of the year or the show before that, where they had a whole bunch of singles matches. The semi main event was Miyu Yamashita and Yuki Arai, and it ended in like a minute. Where like Yuki Arai comes in, she hits two boots to Miyu Yamashita. Miyu Yamashita creates distance, hits two head kicks and a skull kick, and that was it. And I was like, oh, okay, so they kind of play off that. Like these two are start going at each other. Like great stuff back and forth.
Hmm.
This finish was brilliant because it looks just like when Miyu Yamashita is creating that distance. She goes for the skull kick, and then Yuki Rai catches her. She hits a
Yep.
kick to the head, almost like a version of Finally, and she still has the foot, and she locks in the sharpshooter. Boy, howdy, partner. She did not have
No.
any slack on that sharpshooter. They say, as we call in catch wrestling, she strangled the submission. Like this thing looked like a shoot, brother. And I remember I was watching this live as it happened, and I was kind of, because I think by the time this main event came out, it was like 11 o'clock, and I was exhausted, and I was kind of like half in and out, and I'm like, I'll have to go back and watch it. But I did remember watching these last 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm like, I love Miyu Yamashita, but like this needs to be a tap here. This needs to be a tap
Yeah.
because the way it was again with her going for the skull kick, gets caught, gets booted right in the face, and gets put in the most devastating sharpshooter ever. With Yuki Arai getting the win and becoming the number one contender, submitting Miyu Yamashita. This was absolutely great.
Yeah, that sharpshooter was so deep it hurt Bret Hart's back. Like she was really leaning in, and I was like, "Whoa!" And then right before, I like when Yuki's trying to hit the Uncle Slam, as we call it, and she can't get it because Miyu's fighting. Then finally Yuki hits the Uncle Slam, and then a nice near fall there. But then there's that running roundhouse by Miyu. Then Yuki catches it and locks on that crazy sharpshooter, probably the craziest sharpshooter, or Scorpion Deathlock, whatever you call it, that I've seen in quite some time. But yeah, this match was great. I gave it 4.25 stars.
Yeah, I had it 4.5, so I was right there with you, buddy. Right there with you. Andy Header, before we go into this Sendai Girls show, we have a lot of great wrestlers, a lot of great hairdos.
Hmm.
It's a New Year's party. It's a house party. We're a
Yeah,
party party.
it's a funky
Who
house party.
who who had the best gear and best hair here in Shinjuku Face?
So the best gear, there was a couple new ones, but nothing that really stood out except for Rika Tatsumi's gear. I thought it looked really cool. The punk rock thing she got going on, the silver, the black, and the red. So Rika Tatsumi wins best gear. For best hair, I was kind of back and forth, but I think, you know what? I know who I think is going to win it. I think Himawari is going to win a second time best hair winner because of braids, and she used them. And if only she uses them, that move, like we said, wrap around her head and then suplex her. So yeah, best gear, Rika Tatsumi. Best hair, Himawari.
Two really good ones, my man. Two really good ones. Andy Header, let's go to this Sendai Girls show, which took place the very next day. So much great wrestling. So
I
much great.
know.
Even this weekend, like we got a great Marigold show, we got a great Stardom show, and obviously the night one of the Max Hard tournament. Andy Header. So we're in Shin-Kiba first ring for Sendai Girls on the 11th of January. We open up with one half of the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team
Hmm.
Champions, Ruaka, taking on Manami. This was a really great match, and I mentioned this last week. Shocked that Manami ate the fall against Ryo Mizunami.
Yeah.
She loses here to Ruaka. At the same time, like I understand, like Stardom is the biggest Joshi company by a mile. So you're
Hmm.
having one of their champions come in. Again, Ruaka was in the main event. Cork and Hall, 1,300 people. So it's like, maybe it's like, hey, if we're going to send Stardom girls over there, they're not going to be eating the L's. So regardless, this was a great match. These two worked really, really well together. I would love to see Manami and somebody from Sendai Girls challenge BMI 2000 into this
Hmm.
match because they kind of set it up because anytime Manami got an advantage, there was that damn Natsukatora
Yep.
to run interference, that's their gimmick, brother. I thought this was a great match to start the show, especially Manami is so over as a babyface. 3 and 3/4 stars. Really great stuff for me. Ruaka getting the win with the top rope splash, which he has dubbed the freezer bomb.
Oh, the freeze bomb. I did not know that she calls it that. Yeah, this was a very good, nice opening match. There was a nice fisherman buster by Ruaka, and then a running high knee by Minami. The lariat by Ruaka looked really good. There was a victory roll near fall by Minami. Then you know what happened? A little bit of interference. Can you believe it? The hate crate made an appearance, and then it was the choke bomb for a near fall by Ruaka, and then finally the top rope splash, the freezer bomb. 1, 2, 3. I was a little surprised Ruaka won. It's like even though she's like from Stardom and she's a tag champion, I think Minami's gonna win because they're gonna put some steam behind her. But I guess not yet. Not yet. And
No.
I gave it 3 and a quarter.
Andy Header, you know what happens next? Time for a funky house party.
Oh, there we
Time
go.
we have two makeshift teams that somehow they made it work. Ryo Mizunami teaming with Miku Kanai, teaming with Uriah Suzuki to take on the team of Chi-Chi, Zonaz, and Olympia. We know that Olympia is actually going to be the next challenger for Hazuki's CMLL Japan
Ooh.
Championship, which I think that's either this weekend or the weekend after. They actually have a pay-per-view on Wednesday the 21st. Stardom does.
Hmm.
But regardless, this was really great stuff. They made it work. I think Chi-Chi's just fantastic. We've seen her and Miku Kanai on opposite ends and a lot of time on the same side because in Stardom, that Team Suri, as I dubbed it, is Suri,
Hmm.
Miku Kanai, and Chi-Chi. So they know each other really well. I thought their stuff was the highlight of this. Uriah Suzuki, new gear, new look,
Yeah.
new attitude, still same great wrestler. I thought she was highlighted really well here. Eventually, though, it is Olympia hitting Uriah Suzuki with, I dubbed the version of the F5, getting the
Hmm.
3 count, 3.5 stars for me.
Yeah, it was like an F5 kind of more like a face buster. Like imagine an F5. It was a cradle shock, like the DVD into a face buster, kind of like Bianca Belair's KOD move,
KOD.
kind of, but not from the inverted position. So sort of like that. Yeah, this match really good. I like the one spot where Olympia goes and then they do the flexing elbow and then Zones does the flexing elbow and then finally Chi Chi comes and she's like. And she kind of like flexes like because obviously she's not the powerhouse here the other two are so that was a really funny spot. Olympia hit like a tour of the islands type move that looked really good on Yura for near fall. Oh, yeah, Yura's new samurai gear much better than her old half and half where it was like half a gi half not a gi, so I really dig her new gear here. There's a PK near fall by Yura on Olympia, and then finally that whatever move you want to call it, the DVD, the facebuster and F5 by Olympia to Yura. 1, 2, 3. I gave it 3 and a quarter stars because I thought this match was really good.
Andy Header, I know we're gonna call that move
Ah,
the Olympia Slam.
there we go, Olympia Slam.
How did we not know?
Yeah.
The Olympia Slam. Andy, we go to match number 3. Red Energy and Miki Takase and Miko Wada taking on Hiro Matsumoto and Dash Chisako. I was a little stunned here at the finish, and then I'm like, oh, I get it. I get it. This is exactly what you would think it'd be. You have 4 badass wrestlers,
Hmm.
4 hard-hitting, straight-up professional wrestlers, 2 great tag teams. Obviously, Red Energy, one of our favorite tag teams in all of Joshi. Doesn't you throw in the Stardom, Marigold, throw in Sendai Girls, Tokyo Joshi Pro? There isn't too many tag teams I enjoy more than Red Energy. Great stuff back and forth, hard hitting, great teamwork, especially from Red Energy. But even Dash and Hero, we haven't really seen teamed up that much. They have some really great chemistry as well as a tag team. And I thought this match would go to the OTLD as it was counting down. However,
Hmm.
it is Hero hitting a pair of wicked backdrop suplexes, easy for me
Hmm.
to say, to Miyuki Takase, picking up the win. 4 stars for me, my friend. I thought this was really, really great and exactly what you would think it would be with these 4 hard hitters.
Yeah, this one was really good. And Dash and Roy do have a team name. I guess they teamed up probably more before we were watching Sendai Girls, and they're the Reiwa Ultima Powers. And I looked up Reiwa and I wrote down what it was somewhere, but I forget. I think it's just like super, like so, like the super ultimate powers. So like kind of like the Mega Powers. So a great name, team name. So yeah, this match was really nice. I like when they were brawling around the ring after Return Crush sends Dash by Dash sends Mika outside, or by Mika to Dash sends them outside. There was a nice cutter by Miyuki to Arroyo. There was a double back suplex by Arroyo in the middle of it there. There was one part was this big straight kick by Mika Wada where she like kicks straight and then holds it to kind of like emphasize more like I just kicked your head off. So that looked really cool. there's a part where it was a running forward roll that like when you put them up on the shoulders and you roll forward to dash by Miyuki, and then she missed the Alabama Jam. I thought she was gonna hit, so I thought that was a nice spot that she missed it. Dash hits a claymore. Dash hits a lot of claymores here. Then finally, Hiroyu pushed Miyuki into Mika's kick at the end, which I thought was really cool and different because here comes Mika. She pushes Miyuki so that way Mika takes out her own partner. And then finally, the backdrop driver times two, 1, 2, 3. And the Reiwa Ultimate Powers pick up a win here. Yeah, this is a great match. 4 stars even.
Yeah, really good stuff. Andy Header, we go to our semi-main event where we have our Sendai Girls junior champion, Yuna, graduating from the opener to be in this fantastic match, teaming with the always entertaining and fantastic Venny. Speaking of fantastic, they are taking on the tag team champions in a non-title match of Miyamoto and Yurika Oka. The finish of this match sees Miyamoto hitting a splash and then Yurika Oka hitting her version of the Pharaoh gift, a twisting splash onto Yuna for the 3 count. This was great. It was fast paced. It was hard hitting. Venny was absolutely fantastic. She's another one that doesn't get it. She doesn't get the talking like a Mayu or a Takumi Roja. But Venny's another one of these really, really great wrestlers that anytime I see her on a card, especially the Sendai Girls card, I'm like, it's going to be fantastic. She was great. But man, Mio and Eureka Oka, just so good. I don't know what their contract status is, but how like a Tokyo Joshi Pro, a Marigold, or a Stardom isn't throwing a whole bunch of money at them. They can wrestle. They're comedic. They're great as singles. They're great as tags. I mean, you can fit them anywhere. This is really great stuff. And I liked how in the middle of this match, Venny is running her great her great sequence. And then how does it get stopped? Slipped on a banana peel. I thought that was great. I thought this was great. 4.25 stars. This was terrific.
Yeah, this was really, really good. And I don't have to say that because I like Pop Pop Mo Banana. Venny is great. And this is probably the best Yuna match I think we've seen all so far. We've seen her in the openers, and the openers have all been really good matches, but this is probably her best outing, and good on her for being in this match. In the beginning, speaking of her, Venny and Yura fend off the sneak attack because, Bob Momo Banana always does the dastardly sneak attack right in the beginning. I was like, that was pretty cool. There's a part where Venny bites Eureka's head, so I was like, oh, come on now, it's kind of being the heel of the match. And then, like you said, it's all Venny, but until she slips on the banana hat. And then there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 9. The dropkick assault happens to Venny. Mio backflips out of a German after that, and then Venny hits a kick combo, which was really nice. And then a powerbomb was reversed into like Mio's twisty victory roll, where it's like she kind of goes forward but twists. It
The
looks
Momo
awesome.
Latch.
Yeah, the Momo Latch, yes. And she does that. It looks awesome every time she does it. Yuna gives Eureka 4 drop kicks of her own, but yeah, you can't keep down the drop kick queen, Eureka Oka. Bob then beats them with the hats, which is really cool. Then he beats Mio with the hat, and then finally a sling blade to Eureka by Yuna. An assisted top rope senton misses, so Mio hits a head scissors to Venny, and then a dive out of the ring. So that gets them out of the ring, and then a stalling suplex, a perfect plex, and then Mio off the top with the big splash. Then Eureka hits the Twisted Bliss, the Pharaoh gift, whatever you want to call it. 1, 2, 3. They retain the tag titles here, and then the Reiwa Ultimate Powers, that's Chaka and Hiroyo Matsumoto come out to challenge for the tag belt. So it makes sense why they won the last match.
That is, yeah, and then yeah, exactly. Like I said before, I'm like, why is Red Energy eating an L here? Now we know why. Now we know why. But this, I mean, Dash and Hero is going to be a great V1. I don't see Bob Momo Banana dropping this on V1. Could have happened, sure.
Yeah,
I just don't see it happening. Eventually, I think we were going to build towards Bob Momo Banana versus Red Energy.
yes.
When the time is right. Again, 4.25 stars. What did you get this one, buddy?
4 1/4, right with you.
Right there with me. Andy, how do we get to the main event? When this was announced, we're like, boy, howdy. Saya Iida coming off a semi-main event match in front of 6,500 people at Dream Kingdom against Konami, taking on Chihiro Hashimoto. Saya is on a completely another level. It's crazy how stacked the Stardom roster is, and the mid-carder that's basically elevated to the main event scene is Saya Iida. Like, I'm sorry, the mid card that's gotten over the most these last 2 or 3 months in Stardom is Saya Iida. Absolutely crazy. Like Hanan getting injured, and Rob and I talk about this in the Stardom cast. Like Hanan getting injured, like, oh man, what's that gonna do for Saya Iida? Because she's great, she'll be great, like, in the middle of the card. But like they basically gave her an inch and she took a mile. She's been fantastic in Stardom. Saya Iida comes out. And obviously, Chihiro Hashimoto is the ace of this company. This is an away game for Saya Iida. She's in enemy territory. She comes out and she didn't even take her jacket off, and people are yelling, Saya Iida, Saya Iida. They're yelling for him. Like, they're going for, you figured she might get not booed, but like there'd be more cheers for Chihiro Hashimoto. And it wasn't a 50-50 match. It was a 100-100 match. And Rob and I talked about this match a little bit on the Stardom cast because it involved Saya Iida, who's a Stardom wrestler. I said, Rob, I said, I just watched it in like an hour before I recorded. I said, just watch this. And it wasn't a 50-50, it was a 100-100. And he goes, people, and then Rob said it perfectly. He said, people were cheering for pro wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what they want. That's what they want. And that's what they got in this. This was great. It was hard
Hmm.
hitting. A lot of great selling and firing up. There was so much like these two understood when to sell, how much to sell, where to sell. It wasn't just like the boom, 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 chop, lariat, power bomb, crazy, insane German suplex. Like they took their time getting there and they waited for the crowd to get there. The pacing was great. The timing was great. Saya Iida is going to try to break down Chihiro Hashimoto with chops and clothesline. She did that. And then there was that one spot, the spot
Oh
that
yeah.
was all over the internet as soon as it
Yep.
happened, where Chihiro Hashimoto deadlifts Saya Iida and drops Iida
Wheelbarrow. Oh
on the back of her head. That was absolutely crazy. Saya Iida comes back with a huge, huge lariat. However, we do see Hashimoto hitting a huge lariat and a power bomb, putting away Saya Iida. This is just as good as I thought it would be. 4 3/4 stars. Just a fantastic professional wrestling match between two fantastic Joshi Puro wrestlers, my friend.
yeah, this was a great main event between two powerhouses, basically. And you know why you liked it and we give it a high review? Strong lockup is how it
Ja-
started.
I have
It's
the biggest lockup ever. Literally
there
is
we
my
go.
first note. Yes.
Strong lockup, and then we had a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, so it was like a double lockup. The match here, I like why they keep trying to do the shoulder tackles in the beginning. They can't get it because they're both establishing strength. Chihiro finally gets it. Saya chops Chihiro several times. It looked good. Then the machine gun chops on the outside by Saya. So we got a lot of machine gun chops in these two shows we reviewed. Um, as they go down here. Where was it? Sorry, I got lost. The top rope shoulder tackle by Saya. Then there's a forearm chop exchange, and then Chihiro throws so big. So big rights. I don't know. She hit a really big hit there. I don't know why I was right in there. And then a spine buster by Saya. I like how Saya can't get a sunset flip off the top. She's pulling, and Chihiro's like, ah! She pulls back up. So again, the selling, the battle, the strength there. That was really nice. They trade clotheslines. Saya suplexes Chihiro, then gets clothesline herself, then a back body drop by Saya, and then this is the spot that meme and got shared all over Twitter. The wheelbarrow suplex that dumps Saya right in the back of her head, but she's okay, folks. She's all right. And then the lariat, then she comes back with lariat. Then Chihiro hits the big lariat, 1-2 near fall, and then finally the last ride powerbomb, 1-2-3. This match was really, really good. I give it 4.5 stars.
Excellent stuff, Andy Header. Really, two great, really good shows with two like pretty much must-see main events. Speaking of must-see, Andy Header, we must know in this Sendai Girls show. I rhymed. I didn't even mean to do that. Who
Yeah,
had the best hair and who had the best gear?
I think we have a defending best gear for Sendai Girls here because Miko Wada gets best gear again. Her black and silver gear is just so nice with the little red writing or whatever's on it. And then I noticed in the back it says Miss Shirley. So I don't know who Miss Shirley is, who she is to Miko
I
Wada.
think it's like the designer company, whoever
That's what
designed
I
the
was
tights.
thinking.
I think I could
And
be wrong. Let us know,
unless they,
folks.
yeah, unless they call Miko Wada Miss Shirley for some reason. But the gear is awesome. So she wins best gear. For best hair, the outsider gets it. Saya Iida with her shaved on the sides but dyed neon green and curly mullet, almost like hair. Saya Iida gets best hair here. So best gear, Miko Wada. Best hair, Saya Iida.
Andy Header, we go to the finals. It seems like Tokyo Joshi Pro versus Sendai Girls. I don't think they've ever done a crossover before, but every week we have
Yeah.
it here on Talk Joshi. We give the people what they want.
Hmm.
Best gear, Rika Tatsumi versus Miko Wada. That's a match I want to see. So
Oh
who
yeah.
has the best gear from this past weekend?
It's funny they were both black and silver and red. How about that? They both have the colors going on. I think I'm gonna lean a little bit towards Mika Wada because her gear is so nice. So Mika Wada gets best gear overall.
Miko Wada, congratulations.
Hmm.
Andy had her best gear. Saida, the gorilla, taking on Himawari. Another match I would love to see.
Yeah.
Who wins best overall hair from this
The,
past weekend?
the gorilla versus the sunflower. So there's a match. I think the gorilla wins there if it's a gorilla versus an actual sunflower. But I think I'm gonna go towards this one's a toss up either way. Let's give it to Himawari.
Congratulations, Himawari and Mika
Hmm.
Iwata. You are the real big winners
Yeah.
of this past weekend. Andy Header, again, we mentioned at the beginning of this episode. Next week, we will be covering night one of the Max Hart tournament. I know
Hmm.
night two takes place on the 25th, so that'll be the week after. So we're only going to be able to get night one in. Again, we might watch one or two random classic Joshi matches, not unless something pops up for Marvelous or Monday Magic or something like that. But right
Yeah.
now, for next week, folks, we're reviewing night one of the Max Hart tournament, and then either just a random Marvelous show or just some great classic Joshi action from the past. But Andy Header, without any further ado, is there anything that you want to talk about? And if not, you want to plug your stuff, and we'll call this one an episode.
What a quick thing. I did see a graphic today for Maki versus Unagi Sayaka. I don't know when it's happening. I tried to look up it was all in Japanese. I couldn't really read it because it was real small. So if someone knows when that's happening, let me know. Maybe we'll watch that if that's happens before we record next week. But if not, or, do you know?
Actually, no, I don't know, but I did want to add, again, folks, let us know where that is, what show it is and how we can watch it. So this way,
Hmm.
yeah, we something we can talk about and talk Joshi. What I actually want to talk about at the beginning of this episode, but we'll talk about now. Andy, you wrestled this past weekend. How did that
I
go?
did. I did. I wrestled PPW. I wrestled Adrian Suriano, and I didn't win, but it was a really good match. We managed to have the whole match. We didn't leave the ring one time, and he got me with a super kick at the end. But it was fast paced. It was back and forth. I ducked the clothesline. He ducked the Superman punch. And he got me with the Superman or the super kick. So didn't win, but it was a good match. And PPW they did a really well draw, and it was like almost sold out there. So that's pretty good. All the chairs were taken up. So next time they got to get a couple more chairs. But yeah, it was a good show at PPW and Slatington, Pennsylvania, at the Slatington Farmers Market. They call it the Expo Center, but it's on the Farmers Market. It's off to the side. So it was a good match, and everyone was okay at the end. So can't complain at all.
There you go, buddy. Are you going back are you booked for the next show, good sir?
Yes, I don't. It's the sec. It's not. So they usually run the second Saturday of every month. February, the second Saturday just happens to be Valentine's Day, so it is the week before. So it is the 7th of February. But I don't know what I'm doing yet, and I don't think they know.
That is at the same day as the Stardom pay-per-view of the Starlight Kid versus
Oh,
Sai Kamikani.
nice.
So a big day for you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Big day for you. Andy Header, what anything else? Are you ready or should we wrap a bow on this one? Wrap a bow
Let's
on this
wrap up.
one.
Land the plane, as I said that one time. So if you want to find me and tell me where that Unagi Saka versus Maki
Please.
Ito match is happening on Twitter or what am I doing? Facebook, Instagram, I'm Andy Header at or Blue Sky. I'm age 24, and at Twitter X, whatever you'd like to call it, I am at Get Some Header, pun intended.
Folks, questions, comments, suggestions, anything you need from me, Matt Turner OF on the Instagram and the Twitter is the easiest, fastest, and best way to get a hold of me. Don't forget to follow us over on Talk Joshi
Mm-hmm.
2025 on the Twitter as well. And again, folks, if you have any suggestions for any alternate commentaries, watch alongs, reviews, championship reviews you want to do outside of the Stardom bubble, again, Matt Turner OF on the Instagram and Twitter is the easiest, fastest, and best way to get a hold of me. And I know what you're thinking. Might be saying, Matt Turner, do you have an email address that I can email you? I do, and I'm going to tell you what it is. It is the Stardom Cast
22.
22 at gmail.com. Folks, that's going to wrap it up for another fantastic episode of Talk Joshi. We greatly appreciate your support. Can't do without you. It's like I always say, just not my podcast. It's our podcast. Because when all together, everybody's different. Everybody's special.